One of my favorite things about doing any PC upgrade
Mhm.
is like just going back and looking at stuff and seeing how much bigger the numbers get, either frame rate or how much higher I can turn settings up on stuff. I've been playing some Dyson Sphere program. I hadn't played that in at least a year, maybe a little longer. And in the in the early game, it's fine. Like it never pushed my system, but
Mhm.
like once you start getting into the mid game, and you've got like thousands of little like things ticking away in the background. It's that whole, the same problem with like Satisfactory or Factorio. Like the game is not demanding until you're throwing 20 quadrillion, quintillion little calculations at it every second.
Mhm.
And so it wouldn't grind my old PC into the dirt, but it would go from an easy 120 down to, 60, and in certain places might drop it below. And
I need,
I'm starting to hit that early mid game phase, and it's like, yes, no slowdown detected.
I need to fire up Satisfactory again. The new patch just came out.
Yeah. My kid's been wanting to play Satisfactory again. I told him, I was like, there's been some new patches, some stuff has changed. We'd have to start
Well,
over.
I'm not sure if I'm going to start over or try to salvage my thing. It has official controller support now, which will make the Steam Deck a lot easier.
Yeah.
After you get the hard drive from a crash site, you can dismantle it.
For what?
So you're,
Oh, you can dismantle the crash site?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So no, like, ooh, there's a crash site. Oh shit, it's this one again.
I'm assuming you get some kind of resources for that.
I'm not sure, but even just getting rid of crash sites so you don't have to constantly make notes,
Yeah, you clean up your map.
They added a personal elevator
Okay.
for factories instead of having to use a mod. Um, Train buffer stops. When we're introducing a new mechanic for trains. When manually driving a train and reaching the end of the railway, trains will now derail entirely, and you have to interact with the train in order to get it back onto the rail, similar to how train collisions work.
That's neat, actually. I don't know if I like that or not, but it's
Mm-hmm.
neat. Because it's like, I always thought it was weird that the train would just come to a full stop when you hit with no issues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Uh,
it's a video game, so it wasn't like
mm-hmm.
it was the end of the world. But I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
There's a new type of merger that allows you to prioritize which of its active inputs should be output first. Once again, a mod going through the thing. Conveyor throughput monitor. Once again, a mod that's added to the base game. Right.
Good.
Splitters and mergers can now be built directly onto conveyor lifts,
Mm-hmm.
as in the middle of them.
Oh, nice. I mean, that's
So-
convenient. That is a convenience feature.
So like you could do a main bus of, let's just say, iron bars, and you're building your ironworks, early game.
Yeah.
You could do a main bus of iron bars up through the middle of the factory, and then split it off on each floor instead of having to have it going to a splitter and then having that go to another lift that goes further up.
Gotcha.
It'd be really handy for having to pull things off of a bus or something like that.
Yeah.
There's new pipe build modes. You could have straight pipes, curved pipes, similar to how they added build modes to the conveyor belts.
Yeah. You could already do straight pipes. That's default.
Yeah.
Curved pipes, though, will be nice, even if it's just purely for aesthetics.
Yeah.
Although I do
they added hypertube junctions.
Oh, nice. That's good.
So a hypertube could split into different paths.
There's mods for that, but then also like the way that you can do it in game is really, and sometimes can cause glitches.
Let's see what else. Let's see. There's the hypertube junction. A three-way hypertube junction can be placed on its own or attached to another hypertube junction or hypertube support. Once placed, it allows you to connect a hypertube to three different paths. When traveling inside a hypertube, you can change the path by pressing E when approaching the junction to select which one of the routes you want to traverse through. I've had a long day, what can I say? Then there's hypertube branches, can be placed on a hypertube into two separate paths. The resulting branch can only be accessed by traveling through the longer segment due to its shape. So basically like a one-way junction.
Right.
Which is intriguing. And just a bunch of quality of life stuff. Or, small changes outside of that. New architecture pieces. I forgot this is a thing. Automatic connections of conveyors, pipes, and railways to blueprints.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. I don't use blueprints a ton, and I probably should, but that's something that I don't use in all of these games. Factorio, Satisfactory, Dyson Sphere. Like, I'm just like really bad at like creating and then utilizing a blueprint.
Yeah.
I'm probably the best at it in Factorio because you can make some really simple, easily repeatable blueprints for stuff that you use all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, like one of the blueprints I see pop up a lot that I need to steal. It's basically the way I saw it described is basically a hat for a miner.
Yeah.
So it hooks into I think the version I saw was for the Mark 1, but there's bigger ones for Mark 2 and so on, mining, where it's all the localized resources needed to build up to however many bars that particular mining node could do. And it's just all a blueprint that just snaps on.
Gotcha.
And they have it set in such a way where it's on supports and stuff where it just sits right on top of the mining node. Let's see. Flashlight now can be used inside of hypertubes.
Okay.
Drone movement and pathing improvements. Conveyor poles and pipeline supports now have a soft clearance. This will help adjust the placement even more in limited spaces, as they can now overlap with other buildables. Nudging can be done vertically as well. Remove the max distance limit on nudging. You now freely refine the placement of all your buildings. Will have to rely on the precise aiming, since we now have removed the distance limit on nudging. Yay. Visual improvements: falling trees, expanding to the polish of our foliage. Trees will now gracefully fall over after being cut with a chainsaw, with an all-new effect.
Sure. It's not something I particularly care about, I don't think, but that's nice.
And just like a bunch of little visual stuff. So, yeah. Of course, I'm going to have to go through my mod list, and that's why I'm thinking it might be best for me to just start anew. Maybe with a modified save file, so I could get back to where I was quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited about the new RimWorld DLC coming up.
What's the new RimWorld deal?
Oh. Well, it's not going to be out till next month.
Okay.
It's called Odyssey.
Okay.
Where Odyssey enriches the world and this is from their press release. Enriches the world and expands your adventure beyond a single map. Build a grav ship, your flying home, to travel across the planet, settle in new biomes filled with diverse landforms and exotic wildlife. Go on quests to hunt the Alpha Throne Bro, or raid ancient cryo-sleep bunkers. Launch into orbit and scavenge tech from space stations and asteroids. But out in the void, an ancient machine mind stirs.
Okay. Yep. Yep. I'm into that.
So basically, they're taking there's a mod called Save Our Ship, where it's essentially a continuation of one of the in-game states.
Yeah.
Because RimWorld technically has a fixed ending or multiple fixed endings, and one of them is building a spaceship and leaving the planet. And there's a mod that allows you to essentially continue the game from there with a spaceship. So in this case, the grav ship allows you to explore. It looks like it's limited to the same planet still. It starts small, just a grav engine, a few rooms, some thrusters, and a tank of chem fuel to get you airborne. But over time, it becomes a home. A mobile colony of bedrooms, labs, hospitals, workshops, and everything else your colonist needs. To expand your ship and go further, you need to collect grav cores. You can recover these glitter tech devices from insect-infested caverns, ancient reactors ribbed with traps, crash-landed shipwrecks, and orbital platforms. Odyssey is about exploration, adventure, and a new way to play. Live as nomads that move across with the seasons and kidnap raiders by taking off while they're still aboard. Embark on a 100-day journey around the world and collect one for every animal to start building your own zoo. Design the weirdest, ugliest, most grisliest, unhinged grav ship and see how far it gets you. Or hunker down inside an asteroid and live as long as you can in space. You can play Odyssey any way you like. So basically, yeah, it's that one mod just up to 11.
Yeah. That's pretty nifty. I like when game devs do that too, as long as they acknowledge the original mod creator and such.
Well, it looks like this is not quite the same. This is more. It's still planet focused, while the mod that this may be getting some inspiration from is more about like space exploration.
Yeah.
Although there's some interesting tidbits in the press release as well about taking over abandoned colonies. So possibly there's another mod called Real Ruins, which whenever you get to the game over state, it will take your actual map and turn it into ruins. And every so often it'll upload to a server and then download real players' maps.
Oh, that's also very neat.
So if you go to a ruin, you might actually get a ruin that is based around an actual person's save file. I mean, it does its best to try to balance things, so you're not going to come into something that has like an absolute ton of medicine and stuff, but sometimes it does. Things get unhinged,
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how much can I steal from this? But that's also kind of the RimWorld way,
Yeah. How much can I steal from this? All of it.
I mean, there's also this DLC. I really wanted to play like a nomadic style, but you can never really do that even with the mods.
Yeah.
You could, you can kind of jankily get there, but you could never quite get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then this is just like baking it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody in the comments, every time I try to play this game, something terrible happens and everybody dies. Maybe I'm playing it wrong. I know it's the wrong game, but I want to comment, losing is fun. Great, now I want to go play Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, there's just everything's like revolving around the Switch 2, which, truth be told, I really don't want to talk about all that much. I mean, it feels like we kind of have to acknowledge that. Yeah, the Switch 2 came out. It's breaking a lot of records and kind of setting some bad precedents,
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Like, we can do that. We can do whatever we want. We want to say, fuck it. We don't want to talk about any of this shit. We'll use this Craig recording and then go fucking, like, I don't know, do rails of coke or something. We could do that.
No, I gotta work it. I gotta work tomorrow afternoon.
I have to work tomorrow all day.
Well, I go in the early afternoon and I'm there till close. So it's
Right.
still an 8.5 hour shift. Oh, oh God.
No, I'm
Sorry,
jealous.
I
Thanks.
no, I just saw something.
What?
Uh, time to get political.
Okay.
This is from CNN. I saw this headline and I was about to close Reddit, and it's one of those things that I read it. Yeah, I know. I read it,
Uh-huh.
and then uh, I just had that moment of no, that's satire. This is from like one of the jokes subreddits that I don't follow leaking in or something because I'm actually hit r/all or something.
Okay.
Trump says he plans to phase out FEMA after the 2025 hurricane season.
I'm making a face that I don't know how to describe right now. I know you
You,
can't see it, but
I
it's
can't
just
see
this like
that this is audio.
I know. God, there's just so much contempt on my face right now.
You
Just
see
so
why it kind
much.
of broke me, right?
Yes. That is some fucking dumb bullshit. That's what that is. And he'd fucking do it. Will he? Who knows? Trump says a bunch of dumb shit,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe that he would.
I mean, isn't NASA uh, dealing with like a 25 or 30% budget cut?
I don't know. I do. They are dealing with a budget cut, but I don't know what the extent of said cut is.
Let's see. Now I'm just wondering. Nearly 25% in 1 year. It's so bad that they're shuttering like social outreach programs.
Which is bad because those social outreach programs from NASA are really cool. They do a lot of fun
Mhm.
educational things.
I
That
mean, they're shutting down their
rocketry.
Twitter accounts because
Well,
uh,
those are useless anyways.
well, not really because it's still social outreach. Yes, I know, it's on Twitter, but the thing is that it's also all their social media outreach programs, you know.
Yeah,
So it's easy to shit on. It's Twitter. It's useless, but it's still a NASA program. You know,
yeah,
I'm not defending Twitter as being useful because it's gone. Say it gone downhill uh, is taking it lightly, but you know what I mean.
yeah. Saying Twitter has gone downhill is a massive understatement.
Yeah, but it's one less good thing on Twitter. How about that?
Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
Uh, let's see. The has started consolidating dozens of its social media accounts. They'll archive platforms in the coming weeks, focus on Moon, Earth's climate, the Perseverance, Mars rover, and the Orion spacecraft, the Artemis program vehicle that will one day take astronauts back to lunar surface. We'll see about that at this point. Uh, but they're basically at this point trying to consolidate things down into one account, which I imagine is going to be a lot cheaper to try to manage, but also, it's going to be a fire hose of content.
Yeah.
And somebody that's like really interested with the Voyager spacecraft, or really interested in the Artemis program, is it going to care about the Mars rover, what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my next day off, I'm gonna have to go do some auto work. That's gonna
Auto
be fun.
work
Yeah,
on your car.
yeah, work on my auto.
What's wrong with your automobile?
The weather stripping is falling apart.
Oh,
I
fun.
mean, it's not turned into anything bad yet, but uh, so I have a 4-door SUV,
Mm-hmm.
and on the rear door on each side, there's a strip of weather stripping there. to kind of seal that gap.
Yeah.
On the driver's side, it's like bisected and split apart where, uh, it's still sealing for now, but, it's obviously going to need replaced.
Right.
And on the passenger side, it's not as bad, but, it's starting there too. So, $35 on eBay, got a couple of replacement parts. And while I'm doing that, I'm probably going to disassemble the dash because Ford engineers suck.
Yeah.
Because I need to change the cabin air filter. And the way you do that on a Ford Explorer 2015 is you open up the passenger door, and no, I'm not joking on this. All right.
Whatever you're about to say, I believe you. I have worked on many cars in my lifetime that are
Okay.
fucking ridiculous.
You open up the passenger door, you take a spudger, and you work your way around the dash trim, pop that off, hoping not to break that, take the end of the dash off, drop the glove box out of the dash,
Yep.
and then you reach up and there's an access door there for it.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, it's not a long process, but there's many opportunities to break things and have to buy replacement parts.
It is a similar process for my Focus, but instead of having to use a spudger, there's just a series of screws that you have to unscrew to remove the glove box.
As
and
far
get
as I
to
could tell, there's no screws involved in this at all. It's a bunch of plastic clips.
Yeah.
Decade-old plastic clips at that.
Oh yeah, they will break. You will break some of them.
Mm-hmm. And just unhooking a cable. But it's just, why?
Yep. Just because. Just to fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, it's to make it to where that people can't or don't want to take the time to do it on their own so that dealerships can get more money.
Yep. And because it's like a half an hour process, that's a full hour of work.
Yep. You got it.
Yeah, for me, actually go to Valvoline like Instant Lube.
Yeah.
Anita swears by this local mechanic, but unless you catch him in the very early twilight hours of the morning, you are not getting your car back until very late in the day. And I much rather just go down to Charleston, pay a little bit more, and have everything done in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got a very good local mechanic here that we've taken our cars to for years.
Oh, he's also kind of a right-wing asshole. And I don't want to... I know. If I excluded my business from every right-wing asshole in this red, God-forsaken state, I'm not going to be doing business with anyone.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if every mechanic that works at that shop is a right-wing asshole. But they're very nice people. They don't talk about politics. None of them wear MAGA hats. And they've always treated us well and taken good care of any vehicle we've ever brought them. And so I just I intentionally don't find out.
Yeah, they're the shop that I took my car to get inspected after I had to get the windshield replaced because, and I think I figured out what happened with that. So my windshield got like a gouge taken out of it.
Yeah.
And while it was parked, well, I saw the local. He goes to the church that my car sits in the parking lot of, and his solution to take care of the weeds before one of the church's big events is to take a weed eater and basically grind down into the ground. And I'm just watching pebbles shoot everywhere. I'm thinking, oh, well, that explains how I got a chip out of my windshield when it was parked.
Yep. That would do it.
So the mechanic I was able to, that did take me in to get inspected the same day, or I should say the day after I got the windshield replacement, because my inspection sticker didn't carry over.
Yeah.
Uh, is flying a literal red flag outside their shop saying JD Vance President 2028.
Damn.
So, nope, not going to that shop again.
Yep. Yeah. I don't. There's really nothing else around here that I do that with. Like, I want to know, like, what businesses support who and what, so that I can avoid the worst ones. But I for my mechanic, with all of my trusted stuff, I'm like, you know what? Ignorance is bliss this one time. I'm going to allow myself this one. So, but it is 12:01. So I need to go start getting ready for bed. So I'm going to tell Craig goodbye. Goodbye, Craig. Dream of electric sheep, little guy. Mwah.